This is the Deuter Saddlebag 2. I got it from Wiggle. They do 5 at the moment. The S1, 2, 3 and 4. The first 3 range in size and have Velcro straps, and number 3 and 4 have a clip to easily attach it to your seat post. So this is number 2 and it's 1.4 litres. I had a cycling backpack, but I wanted to do longer sportive, so that wasn't ideal because it's extra weight and it gets quite sweaty, so you kind of want a saddlebag to carry your stuff rather than having it on your back. I was checking for reviews before I bought it to find out what you could fit inside, but none of them really seemed to demonstrate what you could put inside. So this at the moment I think is 1 litre, and it also comes with this zip here which allows you to unzip an extra bit of capacity there, which expands it to 1.4 litres. So if you do need more space, then that is available. It's not waterproof, but it seems to do the job, and it's going to be underneath you most of the time as it's attached to the saddle, so it shouldn't get too wet whilst you're riding. I'm going to show you what you can fit in it. So this draper kit is one that I bought off Amazon. It comes with all the kind of standard cycling emergency tools such as a pump, tyre levers, a multi-tool, a puncture repair kit. It looks like there's quite a lot of space in here, but actually when you fold it up, a lot of that space disappears into the spine, so there's not too much free space to put your other stuff. I mean, when I went on a sportive the other day, I shoved my phone in this little gap here and had a credit card in there just in case, but it's really tight to do up, and I had a map that they gave me before the sportive and that could barely fit in, and it was a bit of a chore to try and open this whilst riding. So ideally I wanted a bigger bag. I also couldn't fit any energy bars or anything like that in there, and no room for spare inners, so I kind of needed a bigger bag. So I'm going to show you how much fits. I mean, you can see right now that both these are, this one's pretty bulky, there's a lot of dead weight to it, whereas this one's got thinner material, so it's less weight and actually has more space inside. So I'll show you what you can put in it. This is a mini pump. It has both the valves on it, so that's pretty handy. That fits in there quite nicely, and at the moment the bag is in the smaller state without the extra capacity that unhinges there. Got a multi-tool which can get you out of some sticky situations if you need to repair your bike on the go. Let's put this is a specialised inner tube. I actually used this on my last sportive and it got a puncture. I've repaired the puncture and I'm going to use that at some point, so I'll stick that in there. There's actually a bit of space down there, so I've got a glove, which is kind of handy if something goes wrong with your chain and you want to get your hands all greasy. 2 tyre levers. They don't take up too much space, so they can slot in somewhere. So at the moment you can see how much space is in there. I'm going to take this specialised inner tube out and compare it with the Continental one. As you can see, the Continental one's actually quite a lot bigger in diameter, but in terms of height it's not as big. So they're probably about the same volume roughly, but they do vary in size. I mean, they're both for a 700mm wheel, so they're the same inner, but by 2 different companies. So it probably makes sense to actually put a puncture repair kit in there first, seeing there's a bit of space down here. Or maybe not. Let's try putting the Continental inner tube in there. And we've still got a fair bit of space in there, so I'm going to put the puncture repair kit in there. But you don't really need a puncture repair kit if you've got 2 spare inners, but I suppose if you were doing a really long multi-day ride you'd probably bring one and maybe repair it inner at the end of the day. So that's 2 inners in there now. I could also fit my phone in there, and I'm going to put a card in there as well. That's just my Nectar card because I don't want to show my credit card on camera, but you could fit that in quite happily. It's getting a bit tight, but I think I can fit it in. I have fit this in before, but I think I had to play Tetris a bit, so that's not going to fit in at the moment. I'm just going to show you that. That's pretty pretty snug. I mean, everything's in there. If you wanted to fit in more, for example energy bars or your phone, which I found has not fit in, I'm going to open that up, and that's going to open up some more space in there for me to play around with, so phone can fit in there just about. There's actually quite a lot of space in here, but I've not laid it out as best as I possibly could. There's a lot of dead space in here, so if you're a Tetris master, you could probably rearrange and get more stuff in there, but I have actually managed to get a wallet in there as well. I mean, you really don't want to be bringing a wallet with you when you're riding, because it's a lot of dead weight and useless space, but just as an example, you could fit an energy bar in there as well. But at the moment I've not packed it as efficiently as possible. So that's that closed. I mean, even now I can actually feel loads of space in there. Let's try and do this again. With the extra capacity I'm going to reload it. So I can actually fit this second inner on the same level as the other inner. So both inners in there, and remember we've got the multi-tool and the tyre levers under that, and the hand pump. Let's get the phone in there now. That's a bit better. So that's almost everything in there. I could put a wallet in there, or I imagine this is an energy bar or something like that. And there's still loads of space in there at the moment. Puncture repair kit, that's everything I've actually planned to put in here, and there is still quite a bit of space. So there's an example of packing it more efficiently than I did the first time. And that's what that looks like. Again, this is at the moment that's 1.4 litres, and so that's more than enough for a sportive, say 100 miles or so. And it would be pretty useful if you were doing a longer trip over a few days, where you wanted to pack some stuff and not have it on your back, because it's not ideal having a backpack because it just makes your back really sweaty and it's a bit horrible. But I'll show you now how to put this, how this fixes to the bike. Right, so I'm going to show you how to attach the saddlebag to the bike. First off, I'll show you why the limitations of this one, which I got from Amazon. So it's got two straps on the back, which kind of let you attach it as a saddlebag there. The only thing is it's got no kind of vertical support, so it would shift down, and also I've got that light, rear light mount there, so it almost didn't really fit that nicely. I have managed to like attach it like that with the top Velcro straps going through the seat post, or the seat, and the rear ones going around the seat post, and that kind of worked. But ideally, I mean, this is made to be attached anywhere, however it didn't really fit there without clashing with the pedals and the chain ring. Here in the top tube is not ideal because of the brake cable, which is in not the best position to be attaching Velcro straps around it. And again, the bottom tube has the same problem. It has the gear cables there, so this design is not great. It takes up a lot of space. And I was trying to demonstrate how to put the saddlebag onto the bike, but I noticed a flaw. When the bag is full, you don't actually have enough Velcro to fasten it on, so this bit of my hand here is wanting to go all the way to the bottom where that little fluffy bit is there, but it doesn't reach at all because the bag is too full. So you would either need a bit of extra Velcro to extend that, which isn't too much of a problem, but they don't supply that, or you need to take stuff out of the bag. So I don't have any extra Velcro with me now, so I'm just going to go off camera, take some stuff out of the bag and reattach it. Alright, so off camera I've actually just tried to attach the saddlebag to the bike, but noticed a major drawback in that you couldn't do it without extra Velcro when it was in its biggest state. So what I've done is I've taken some of the stuff out and zipped this bottom compartment up so it's in its 1 litre mode. So you attach it to the seat post there, and then you get this Velcro strap, and then you go through the seat here. This loops through a little loop on the bottom, comes back around the other side, and then there's this little bit here which it then goes through. So I only had to take out my wallet and the puncture repair kit to get it to this state, so you've still got everything that you'd need for a Sportive, but it is a massive oversight by Deuter not to include extra Velcro to actually get it to close up properly and attach to your bike. So that's it attached there, and as you can see that was quite fiddly, so the advantage of that clip on the bottom is probably quite a big one. So overall I'm quite happy with this saddlebag. It allows me to shed my backpack and opt for something much lighter and easier to carry on a Sportive. 1.4 litres is more than enough to carry pretty much everything you need. 1 litre also fits in a phone, 2 inner tubes, some gloves, a couple of tire levers, a multi-tool, and a hand pump. So I would recommend it, but obviously if you are buying it, make sure you get a bit of extra Velcro to get it all the way around when the extra capacity is used on the bottom there.